Hello guys, today's video is going to be about bad experiences. I'm not obviously not going to name all of my experiences because the video would go on for hours and we don't have time for that. So it's going to take me a while to think about the kind of the worst ones. So I thought the first one comes to mind straight away was when I was in second school, I think, and we were playing hockey and I got paired up with a bully of mine. He used to bully me all the time. He had mental health issues, and he was mainly with a carer, but still no excuse to bully people. So he was my bully. When we were playing hockey, unfortunately, I got paired up with him when we were playing like a little hockey outside. So strictly enough, he's accidental, totally accidental, but he was using the hockey stick for a golf club and I was actually standing behind him. And he didn't realise it, obviously. So as he swam back really fast with his hockey stick, it cracked me right in my forehead. So I've got like a dent here now. You can probably see, I don't know if you can see it or not. So it's right here. So it left me a nice big dent in my forehead. And I remember now because I remember it. I will never forget it. It felt like I was flying. I couldn't feel the ground. I just felt like I was in the air. Um, so I got knocked clean out, and my whole body was covered in pins and needles. And I couldn't see anything. I couldn't really hear anything. I was completely out of it. So after that, I got obviously got rushed straight to the matron's office, and I recovered. The pins and needles went, and I was okay. Obviously, I got a nice concussion from it. Still, that was my first bad experience. Obviously, I have bad experiences before that. I just don't remember too many because I was too young. One experience was when I was little, I slept walked down my stairs, opened my front door, and I went right onto the road and slept. Luckily, my neighbour saw me and gone to come and got me, but I never thought I used to sleepwalk quite a lot when I was a kid. It's weird, I don't do that anymore. But just imagine that. Imagine sleepwalking to a road and possibly getting run over. That was scary. And when I found out, when I realised about it, I was like, shit, that's bad. So as a lot of you guys know, I used to be a skateboarder. I wish I did it now, but I'm just getting too old now. And I've lost my confidence. But one day when I was out with my friends, we were going really fast on this red path, and it was dark, pitch black, and some of these street lights didn't work. So anyway, we were going really, really fast down a hill, and there was like a big ditch in the red path that was broken. I couldn't see it, but my other friends did, and they jumped off their boards before they hit it. But me, I just carried going straight down, didn't realise it, and went over it, and did a somersault and hit my head on the pavement, caused me to have a concussion. So that was not a pleasant experience. And when I got when I got an ambulance, I actually threw up on the nurse, God bless her. So that was another bad concussion. Ever since then, I kind of like I've got lost, you know, I lost confidence in skateboarding. So I kind of like stopped really. And I really do miss that sport, but that was scary. So one day I was watching Better Call Saul on Netflix. Love that series, by the way. And I started getting these headaches. And I had these headaches for a few days, but I didn't think there were much of them. But these headaches got really bad. Then they got better. Then they got bad again. And then I knew there was something wrong. So anyway, I had to go to the shop to get some milk. So on my way, I didn't even go half. Didn't get halfway to the shop until I collapsed on the ground. Really, my headaches got really worse. And I got really, really, really dizzy. So I couldn't really move too well, and my head was in so much pain, and I literally had to crawl back home because I was unable to. I didn't have full control of my body, and that was the shunt infection. That's what it does. It makes you gives you really bad headaches, really bad dizziness. The vision goes, the hearing goes. It's dreadful, absolutely awful. I would not wish that on my enemy. This is a terrible experience. So anyway, I got back home, crawled back, managed to get home. So I had to crawl upstairs because I felt really sick. Managed to get to the toilet, and I managed to be sick. And I was pretty much crashed out on my my bathroom floor, sorry. So luckily my mum actually come back to see me and called an ambulance because I wasn't able to get my phone or anything like that because I was too bad. So like she got back at the right time, called an ambulance and got rushed straight to the hospital. I would never forget that. It was awful, absolutely awful. This is what I mean with hydrocephalus. It's quite scary. It's a scary condition because anything can happen at any time, and you just don't know when. It could be just happen like that. It could happen right now, and I would just be screwed pretty much. It's really scary. Speaking about infections, the other bad experience was very recently. Actually, it was last year. No, this year. Sorry, Jesus Christ, it was this year. I don't know how I forgot that. I had a bad infection again, and I ended up getting rushed to hospital and intensive care. And I was in hospital for 7 weeks. It's the longest time I've ever been in hospital. It's a great hospital. The nurses are really lovely, and the food's bloody brilliant. So I didn't mind staying there too much. But for 7 weeks, that was draining, and had 4 operations in that time as well. One of the operations I had to do when I was awake. Basically, they had to stick a needle in my stomach to try and suck out the excess infection, which was really, really painful. Because I had to do that when I was awake. Sorry, so I had like all these tubes in me, and God knows what. Sorry, I got this bad indigestion. Anyway, so it was an awful experience, and I went through so much pain in intensive care. I still remember I was just laid in intensive care, and all these surgeons about. I was so hungry, so thirsty. I couldn't eat for a whole week, and I just really wanted something because my mouth is incredibly dry. My throat was really sore because of the amount of tubes that kept sticking in my throat. So I was so relieved. They gave me a yogurt, like a nice yogurt, Miller's Light, and when I had that, I was just so happy. I was so happy to have that one little yogurt because I didn't eat anything for a week. I lost quite a bit of weight after that as well. But that was another. I've had a lot of painful experiences in that 7 weeks actually. Trying to think of the other ones as well. It's just mainly me being bedbound, suffering a lot of pain, pretty much, and vomiting a lot. So it's not pleasant. Now, I could go on for days and days about my hospital experiences, my health wise and such, but I'm not going to. Another bad experience was, I'll never forget this. I think it was on my 8th birthday. I don't remember how old I was actually. Anyway, I went to McDonald's at this hockey stadium because we played a bit of outdoor football for my birthday, me and my twin. I was absolutely fine on that day. I ran around, had a nice McDonald's, had a great time. The next day, I became really, really ill and got rushed to hospital and had to have surgery. Another infection, which was not actually, I think it was a shunt block. No, it wasn't an infection. My shunt actually blocked. So I felt terrible. The symptoms between an infection and blockage is pretty much the same. You go through pretty much the same thing. It's a lot of pain. So that was one truly unforgettable experience. Another experience, not going to be health related, but mental health related, because that's important as well. A lot of people don't take mental health too serious these days. But 8 years ago now, I dated, I think it's 8 years. Yeah, 8 years ago, I dated someone that I fell in love with, and we dated for 2 weeks. And we went on, saw each other several times during that 2 weeks, and we went on a double date. So we went bowling and we had a lot to drink as well. So I had a great time that night. And I don't remember too much in that night because I had mixed drinks, which is not a good thing to do. And ended up being sick apparently. But then when we woke up the next day, she told me she loved me. And apparently she told me that night as well, and she told me again. So I was actually really happy to have that someone say that to me, and I actually loved her as well during that time. I just fell for her like that. And then when I remember her speaking to her about wanting to be together that night, and she said she wanted me to. But then when I brought it up in a few days later, she broke up. Well, pretty much just didn't want to bother anymore. She didn't think that I thought of us as a couple, so it kind of just ruined everything. And ever since then, I've been really defensive when it comes to new people in my life, and it actually hurt me in the long run. But now I'm finally over it because I deserve so much better. But it hurt me for years and years. So guys, do not. Also, I found out she used me for a rebound. So because she only just split up. Well, her boyfriend split up with her days before she started dating me. So never use people for a rebound 'cause it frigging hurts. Two, just don't do that sort of thing. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. Let time cool off before you start dating again. Don't date someone straight after because you can hurt that person so much. Another experience when I was skateboarding one day with a friend, we went to the skate park, and I did a 50-50 on the rail there, and I slipped over and crushed my arm. So I think it's this one. I crushed this one. So every time I bend it, it clicks now. But I crushed it on the rail, ended up spraining it. and I was supposed to be going to a theme park called Flamingo Land the next day. So obviously, because I'd done my arm in, I had to stay home while my family went to Flamingo Land. So that was that was a very unlucky and horrible experience as well. So I was looking forward to it, but instead I just stayed at home playing the games, which weren't too bad, but still something like that to happen a day before and going to a theme park is a kick in the balls. I think I'm gonna have to do a part two of this because I have a lot of experiences I want to share, a lot of bad experiences, but not also I'm going to do a video about all the good experiences. Life's not all dim and dull, so there's a lot of good things that's happened in my life that I want to share as well. So anyway, I thought this idea this morning. I thought I know I'll do a video and share my bad experiences really. So anyway, that's it for the vid today, guys. We'll make another one soon for part two. Take care.